Well, first, Iman, what's up, man? Teyana, what's going on?
Give me the camera.
Hey.
I wanted to get you guys on camera together.
Hey, babe, what you want to do on the camera?
Took over.
Yeah, I'm taking over. Of course I'm taking over.
Hold on, we on a power trip right now.
Power trip.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
Dan, let me see it.
Oh,
Oh my God.
I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
The internet erupted in chaos when news broke that Teyana Taylor had collapsed during a heated on-set confrontation between Iman and Aaron, a scene that was never meant for public eyes but unfolded before an entire production crew and soon after the world. What began as a tense private exchange spiraled into a full-blown public spectacle, emotions flaring so quickly that security was forced to call the police. Fans were stunned, especially those who believed Teyana and Iman had parted ways quietly. This explosive moment revealed just how raw, unresolved, and volatile the situation truly was. Everything was caught on camera, transforming a behind-closed-doors dispute into an undeniable public disaster. The question everyone is now asking: how did it get this far? According to multiple sources, the meltdown began during a routine filming session when Iman and Aaron launched into a fiery shouting match that escalated at lightning speed. The crew stood frozen as the men clashed, voices raised over what insiders say were deeply personal tensions, largely revolving around Teyana and rumored custody disputes. Witnesses report that Iman, clearly emotional, raised his voice and gestured aggressively, while Aaron attempted to de-escalate, though his calm demeanor did little to cool the temperature. One onlooker swears they heard a voice shout, "Don't touch her name again," a line that seemed to ignite the room like a spark in a powder keg. In seconds, the atmosphere shifted from tense to explosive. Just moments later, calls for help rang out as people rushed toward the scene. Teyana, visibly shaken, stumbled backward, clutching her chest before collapsing into a nearby chair. "She's fainted," someone screamed, and the set erupted into chaos. Crew members scrambled to her aid while others stood in stunned silence, unsure if they were witnessing a medical emergency or something even more serious. Witnesses described her as pale, trembling, and completely overwhelmed, the emotional toll of the fight written across her face. Within minutes, the noise of the argument was replaced by a chilling quiet as two police patrol cars pulled up, confirming that matters had gotten dangerously out of hand. Officers moved quickly to assess Teyana's well-being and began questioning everyone involved. Leaked behind-the-scenes clips show Iman pacing the room in distress while Aaron sat with his head in his hands, the earlier bravado replaced by a heavy, uneasy stillness. Production ground to a halt. The previously lively set was now a scene of shock and whispered speculation. Social media detonated in real time. Twitter lit up with the top trending question: did she faint from stress? TikTok users slowed the footage down frame by frame, analyzing every second of her collapse. Instagram became a battleground of opinions. Some sent prayers and support, while others questioned the ethics of allowing such a vulnerable moment to be filmed. Within minutes, hashtags like #Teyana fainted and #Iman versus Aaron were trending worldwide. The internet debated blame, some accusing Iman of pushing too far, others suspecting Aaron's calmness masked something deeper. Online forums picked apart every gesture, word, and glance, yet no consensus emerged. The only certainty was that both men had played a role in this confrontation spiraling out of control. The focus, however, was shifting from drama to damage. News began circulating that Teyana's health had been compromised in a way more serious than anyone initially thought, raising concerns that this was no longer just celebrity gossip but a matter of genuine medical urgency. Was her collapse a sudden stress-induced shock, or was there an underlying condition? Depending on which version of the story one believes, this was either an isolated incident or the culmination of an ongoing issue hidden from the public eye. Legal experts and fans alike began speculating whether there could be grounds for a restraining order or claims of a hostile, unsafe work environment leading directly to a medical emergency. If the incident occurred during an official taping, the production itself could face liability for failing to maintain a secure and emotionally stable environment. Police confirmed they were actively collecting statements from all relevant parties. And while no official charges have yet been filed, Such investigations can escalate quickly if evidence of intimidation, harassment, or negligence emerges. This personal confrontation might soon evolve into a public courtroom battle or a larger industry discussion about on-set health and safety protocols. Meanwhile, fan speculation spiraled into overdrive. One persistent theory was that Teyana might be pregnant and that the emotional and physical stress of the confrontation pushed her body past its limit. This gained traction as fans noted her recent preference for looser clothing and more guarded body language. Another theory argued that her collapse was less a fainting spell and more an intense emotional breakdown caused by long-term stress months, perhaps years, of pressure building to an unsustainable level. Those who support this idea point to recent interviews where she appeared withdrawn or alluded to being overwhelmed as warning signs that now seem glaring in hindsight. But not everyone buys the authenticity of the moment. Some skeptics have floated the idea that the entire ordeal was staged to generate publicity, either to promote upcoming projects or to shift control of the public narrative. This theory, however, has been met with strong pushback from eyewitnesses who insist her reaction was raw, unscripted, and unmistakably real. They cite the visible panic in her movements, the disorganized scramble of those around her, and the lack of any coordinated performance as proof this was no media stunt. Others have suggested that Erin's mere presence may have been enough to trigger her reaction, serving as a psychological stressor powerful enough to provoke a panic or dissociative episode. Whether valid or not, this theory highlights the fragile boundaries of emotional safety in high-pressure public settings. Across platforms, the conversation has shifted toward mental health awareness and the toll of fame, with many calling the incident a wake-up call not just for Teyana but for celebrities everywhere that emotional wellness and personal boundaries must never be sacrificed for career demands or audience expectations. Now, all eyes are on what comes next. Will there be an official statement from Teyana or her representatives? Will the police update the public on their investigation? Could Iman or Erin face professional fallout, legal restrictions, or even criminal charges? And what of the production? Will filming resume as though nothing happened? Or will the entire project be paused, if not scrapped altogether? For now, fans remain glued to their screens, refreshing social feeds for the latest leaked clip or insider update, while gossip outlets pump out minute-by-minute reports, some accurate, others pure speculation. One thing is clear: this story will not fade quietly. What began as a shocking collapse has transformed into a multi-layered public crisis touching on health, legality, accountability, and the relentless pressures of life in the spotlight. Whatever happens next, it won't be resolved with a simple apology. This moment, raw, public, and deeply human, has already carved itself into the unpredictable, unforgiving narrative of modern celebrity culture, and its ripples will be felt for a long time to come.